Here on Primetime, it's important for us to not only bring you news you can use, but to also share with you the latest in scientific advances to improve the quality of your life. More importantly, we want to make sure you and your family are safe and healthy. So, as you know, most districts head back to school next week. It's the perfect time to talk about immunizations. Now I'd like to welcome back Dr. Marcy Bothwell from Rady Children's Hospital, who's here to talk all about the facts and fallacies of immunizations. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I love this. Okay, so as parents, there's a lot of rhetoric we hear about immunizations. Oh, some can cause autism, this or that, or some will make your child ill for the next 48 hours. What we need, what we don't. You got to simplify it for us.
Okay. Well, there are some local reactions, and you can have some fevers, and there are some, people can faint from the reactions. People have had seizures and they have anaphylactic reactions. And so if you have an egg allergy, you need to be a little bit careful about the influenza vaccine. If you have a cow's protein allergy or gelatin allergy, you have to be worried about the MMR. But for the most part, vaccines are extremely safe. We have the safest vaccines in the world, and that's why we have the safest population in the world. The whole thing with autism was completely debunked. I just read 2 court cases out there where the people did not get any settlement at all. They found no cause that the vaccine caused the autism. The Lancet, where the article first came out, has retracted the article. And the guy has almost gone to jail and apologized for literally killing millions of kids because they didn't get the vaccine.
Yep.
But what has come out recently is 49% of kids are under-vaccinated. Either parents are refusing because they're unaware
Afraid
of the new
side
knowledge,
effects, yeah.
Or 2, they're thinking, I don't want to give them all these shots all at once, and so they change the schedule, which none of those new schedules have been studied, so we don't know if they're as effective. So now what's happening is we've had 3 states with outbreaks of measles.
Wow.
We haven't had measles since the 50s or 60s.
It's crazy.
And measles.
What states are you referring to?
They're more in the Midwest. We have not had it here in California. But, the measles can cause, it's a very serious illness. People have died from the measles. We used to have 500 deaths a year from measles. We have hearing loss. They're just amazing statistics on why you should get vaccinated. We have a graphic that shows, that vaccines have worked. It has been the single biggest health benefit in the 20th century.
Is this the graphic you're referring to?
No, this is actually a graphic which is showing the incidence of measles. Now you can see how it's declined in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and none. But look at that insert and look at 2010. Look at the case numbers starting to go back up.
Yep, that's not good.
These
Scary.
are real numbers. And when you go to school, you want your child to be protected. There's even talking about having vaccine-free zones in schools. So if you don't get your child vaccinated, you're not going to be in the regular school population.
Jeez. We have that one graphic that you were talking about earlier. Let's pull that up.
This shows from the 1900s and 1910. Look at all those. We have measles, mumps, rubella. My mother had polio. She was paralyzed on one leg and had one foot smaller than the other.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really personal to me. She had this. And now look over to the right-hand side. And now we have almost eradicated. We have eradicated almost polio. Mumps is coming back with the measles, mumps, rubella.
Whooping cough.
Whooping cough. Have you had your booster, young lady?
Probably not, but I need it.
You need your booster.
That's one of the things that kids need to get right away.
Absolutely.
I remember getting letters home all school year last year with another child was diagnosed with whooping cough. And that's here in San Diego. They have many cases.
I've actually had kids in the ICU who've had to go on life support because they got whooping cough with another respiratory illness, so they can combine too. And it's just devastating because it's so preventable.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why people won't do it. Let's go back to let's talk about what kids should have going back into grade school. let's say kindergarten through 6, what should they have? I mean, because when you're 5 and it's kindergarten, you need everything. Right?
Right. Well, I have a graphic here that shows the whole schedule, but we don't want to show that. That would bore you to tears.
Yeah, but parents need to know, because sometimes you forget. And it's not like the doctors are calling you and reminding you. They don't do that.
No, but they do have vaccine cards, and everyone should have one of those, and you should go talk with your physician if you're at all worried and make sure you're back on schedule. If you really want to go, where this is at the CDC website, or there's also a vaccine safety website. This is actually the one up there is birth through 6 years old.
Okay.
And so we can put these up on the website, or the best place to go is you see down the bottom, this is from the CDC Health and Human Services website.
And the thing is that a lot of these shots, you need the booster shots. You can't forget the booster shots.
You have to have the booster shots right before school. And don't forget about your teenagers. We talked about the HPV vaccine before, meningococcal vaccine.
Which is a huge killer, right? That's the one thing I worry about my daughter going off to college. It's like, that's huge.
10% of people who get meningococcal disease will die. But it's even worse than that. The other 15% will have significant brain problems forever.
But is there a vaccine for that?
There is a vaccine for it. It's the meningococcal vaccine, and you take it before you go to college.
Can you take it when you're not in college?
Well, you can take a vaccine anytime.
We talked about HPV, so Gardasil is the name brand one. Before they were saying teenagers, they were saying no women over like 25 don't even bother. Now they're saying 9-year-olds, 9 and up, should get this vaccine, so it's working full blown by the time your child is a young adult.
Right, because they found that, and that's why the schedule is so important, because certain vaccines have to have booster shots, and they work, and you have to take a second booster shot, and that's why, like the tetanus shot, you take every 10 years. Your body just doesn't.
Haven't done that either in a while.
Oh, young lady. But that's why
I know a doctor. You think I would get the stuff.
I think I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when I took my last one either, come to think of it. But we all forget.
Let's talk about the most common diseases that there are vaccines for, and people do not get vaccinated or don't get their booster shots. What would that look like?
Well, it's whooping cough.
Okay.
The meningococcal. We're actually doing better with the HPV. The measles, mumps, rubella, people are saying, I don't want that. And it's just...
Is that the one that they were scared would cause autism?
Yes.
Is it because the mercury was in there?
Right.
Yeah.
Thimerosal. And now thimerosal is out of all the MMR vaccines. It is still in one of the influenza vaccines, but you can avoid that too.
And you can avoid it, and you just need to communicate with your doctor.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the whole autism thing has been completely debunked.
That's good.
It's just not something to be afraid of anymore.
Now they're saying women who get induced labor, there's a link to autism. I talked to my OBGYN gyno, and she said that is ludicrous as well. So we're going to have her on the show to debunk that theory as well.
Good. I mean, there are some legitimate things that cause autism, and that's not what this segment is. But, the vaccines have saved lives.
Yeah.
And they've been, again, the single biggest breakthrough, I believe, in the 20th century. I mean, thousands and thousands of kids. We now have a new malaria vaccine is just coming online.
Seriously?
Yes, and I'm very excited because I go to Vietnam every year.
Yeah.
And so malaria just scares me because that's, you never get rid of that. So they're coming up with new vaccines all the time, and they save us from such heartbreak. Get the vaccine.
Yeah, what about Lyme disease? Is there a vaccine for that yet?
No, there's no.
I always worry about that when my kids go back east to visit, relatives. I'm like, wear your insect repellent. I don't know.
Yeah, and you have to have DEET, and you should get the 50% DEET, which you
That's
can
a
get
whole nother segment.
REI.
Well, we're just going to protect your family. I mean, you got to watch Tuesday Taylor Time. It's all about protecting you and your family. News you can use always. Is there anything else, Marcy?
I think we have said it all. But go to the CDC website, and there's also a vaccine safety website that we can put up on the internet if you have questions, because it does go through specifically. If you have had this, if you have had a seizure, a Guillain-Barré, there are some cautions to taking vaccines, but we can provide that information for you.
I love it. Thank you, Marcy.
You're welcome.
See you next Tuesday.
All right.
Let's talk about autism. Let's talk about the real links to autism.
I think that would be
and
great.
what parents can do to try to prevent it.